Good evening. Quick one today. I'm kind of doing this off the cuff because had a pretty busy day with some projects. Um, and what I wanted to do was to get this out and talk a little bit about my love of movies. I think that I have always loved the idea of movies. Before I even knew anything about the technical qualities about how they were made, or even thought about it as, oh, movies are always, 2 hours long or something like that. Like, it's just, there was something magical about going to a cinema and watching a movie on the big screen, having popcorn and a Coca-Cola. And what I used to love was to get Reese's peanut butter cups. And this is before I really discovered that I had a peanut sensitivity, but I still loved having that. And there was a time where you could get Maynard's gummy bears at the concession area, and they still sell kind of like some stuff like that, but you can't get the gummy bears anymore. And I used to love the gummy bears, the peanut butter cups, a small popcorn, and a soda. And I could sit there and watch any movie. Like, I go see a rom-com, I go see a sci-fi movie, I could go see Terminator 2, or When Harry Met Sally, or Bull Durham, or Field of Dreams. In the 80s, I loved baseball movies, and when I would go to see baseball movies, and then I would go and play baseball, and it felt like such a you were stepping into a magical world when you went to watch the movie, and then you got to kind of live your own dream in real life when you got to go and participate in it. And then when I would go to see Star Wars and come home and play with action figures and try to recreate the scenes that were in that movie. I was the kind of person who went and bought the novelization of the movie, like E.T. or the Star Wars films or things like that, because I wanted to relive the experience of having gone to the movie theater by reading the book and looking at the photos and buying the trading cards. And so for me, there's just always been a magical connection to movies. I still love watching really good TV shows, but the one thing I realize about movies is that there are movies that I will rewatch over and over and over again, purely out of the nostalgia for the feeling that I had when I first saw them. And I won't do that with a TV show. And this is no disrespect to the TV medium and to TV writing. I think it's all brilliant, but I can watch a movie. There are some movies I've watched 20 times. There's movies I watch once a year minimum, and not because it's Die Hard on Christmas Day, but because it's just there's a feeling I want to get back. I think of a year and I go, oh, I really want to see the movie that I loved in that year. Back to the Future in the movie theater is way different than watching Back to the Future on a streaming service, and watching Jaws at home. I first got introduced to Jaws at home, and then on home video, and then I got the opportunity once to go and see it in the theater, and it just changes everything. Last year we had an opportunity to see Casino Royale, which is arguably one of my favorite recent James Bond movies, and we got to see it in front of the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra, and hearing the live performance of that music over this movie that I really enjoy and love, again, just brings you back all the feels of having seen movies that really grabbed you and made you, give you emotional feeling. Brings it all back. So I would go and see, right now, if it was in the theater, I probably would go back and see, those movies like E.T. or, what, I think one of the first movies that I remember seeing, other than Star Wars in the movie theater, was Popeye with Robin Williams. And every time I see that movie on TV, I just am reminded of seeing the movie Popeye in the movie theater. And it was on, it was a movie I saw when I was in grade 2, and it was with probably my first crush, and her parents took us to the theater, and we watched the movie, and we went out to, I think, if I remember correctly, Old Spaghetti Factory afterwards, and had dinner. And that always has a special like memory for me, in as kind of like this experience that you just did with people. It was like you go to the movies with people. People, even if you go by yourself and there's strangers in the audience, you're going and you're experiencing something with people. You're experiencing a joyful moment with a group of people. So that's why I love making movies. That's why I am excited to make my next movie. And I'm excited to think to myself that this movie will go into a movie theater and I'm going to get that same experience. But now I'm going to share something that I've made, but I'm going to experience it with a group of people. So, quick video. I just wanted to say that I love movies and I love that I get to make them. And I want all my movies to be experienced in a movie theater, and I want to be able to rewatch them over and over again and remember the experience that I had making them and the experience that I had seeing them. And that's it. And I will see you tomorrow. Thanks again.